You are listening to Ideas and Leaders podcast. I'm Elena Paweta, Executive Communication Coach and TEDx organizer. With each episode, I'll share with you communication tips and ideas from top business leaders to help you excel in your career. Welcome to the next episode of Ideas and Leaders podcast. Today, my guest is Wayne Altman. He's an entrepreneur and founder of Melody Clouds. And today we're going to speak about optimizing your health and your mood with the help of sounds. Hello, Wayne.
How are you this morning? Very nice to be here.
Yeah, so it's really nice to have you on Ideas and Leaders, and it is a very exciting topic to speak about, actually, because I think that our listeners are listeners. They're listening to podcasts. That's why your topic and what you're doing can definitely relate to them, and your app Melody Clouds can help them to solve their problems. But first, I wanted to ask you about your story. So how did you come up with this app and what it is all about?
So that's a very interesting story. I suffer from a condition called tinnitus. It's a ringing in the ear. I served in the military for 8.5 years. And it left me with a good deal of hearing loss. And as an added bonus, this ringing or like screeching in my ears. So I don't hear silence very often. I ran into someone who suggested that I try solfeggio frequencies. And that led me to binaural beats. And we can get into that in a minute if you want. But it was the first time in 30 years that I actually heard nothing, heard silence. And for your listeners, imagine not ever being able to be in a quiet room or try to go to sleep when there's noise. It's constant ringing in your ear. It was amazing to be able to feel or to hear silence again. So that's really, and then I thought, well, man, if I got benefit from this, maybe there's something that I can bring to other people.
Wow. And you decided to start Melody Clouds, right? So
June 1st, I bought the domain, and here we are, in November, the beginning of November, we have 300,000 files. I have thousands of members. We're in 210 languages. So yeah, it's been an explosion.
Yeah. So it is really interesting because the market is pretty full. We have a lot of apps with those sounds and meditations, and we have YouTube where we can get something for free. So what differentiates Melody Clouds?
That's a very good point. I mean, look, there are, we bring an education, 300,000 files on Melody Clouds. And you're right. You have Calm, you have Headspace. There are a lot of apps that are out there that are charging $15, $20, $25 a month in membership. One of the things that I differentiate is our app is $2.99 for the first 60 days. So you get an opportunity to try it. And then it's $5.99 every month after that with no ads. So there is no nickeling, diming anyone. It's $5. $6 is less than a cup of coffee or a gallon of gas in California where I live. So you get the benefit of the $30 or $25 app. And this is for people who don't want to spend the $25 for something that they could get for $6.
Yeah. So definitely it is a good deal. And what about those sounds that you have? You said that you have a lot of files uploaded, I wanted to ask you about how it works. So, for example, you mentioned those beats, binaural beats.
Binaural beats, right?
How does it work, and what can we heal? What can we change with the help of those beats?
Yeah, it's a very good question, because it's only a good deal if it actually works, right? I mean, spending $6 for something that doesn't work absolutely makes no sense. Binaural beats, and we'll start with solfeggio, okay? So everyone recognizes that music changes moods. We've known this for hundreds of years. Every single movie, with the exception of 17 movies from Hollywood, right? In the history of movies, 17 movies have no soundtrack, have no music accompanying the movie. Now, that's a very odd thing. There's been millions of movies that have been put out, and there's a reason that they add music. It's because it's a shared experience, and they want us to feel a certain way while we're watching the movie. I use the movie WALL-E as an example of this. So there was a movie by Pixar about a little robot named WALL-E. And for an hour and 25 minutes, he ran around the screen and not one word of dialogue was spoken. Yet you saw him struggle. Everyone in the theater, even the small children, understood and had this shared experience of watching him fall in love, watching him struggle, watching him, do humorous things. And it was all through music. The soundtrack guided all of us and changed our moods. I was thinking in the shower not too long ago that if you walk into a movie theater and you're about to see a horror movie, you're about to see something very scary, you don't walk into the theater scared. You sit there and watch the images on the screen, and you hear that music, and everyone in the theater shares that experience of being frightened together. And it's because of the music. It's not because necessarily of the images that we see on the screen.
Yes, and as you speak, I just realized that when I'm watching a movie, I know the moments where I'm going to cry, when I'm going to be scared, where I'm going to be happy. Even before I see this,
Yes.
I know that it is coming, right?
That movie, that music is giving you a clue. And by the way, you will go through all of those emotions. In the best movies, you will go through all of those emotions during the entire course of the hour. If you watch Life is Beautiful, it's a movie about the Holocaust. That is one of the most powerful movies on the planet, and it takes you through every emotion possible. And a lot of it has to do with the soundtrack. The acting is superb, but the soundtrack to that movie is sublime. It really leads you along the way. So we all of us collectively understand the power of music. And that's our tagline on Melody Clouds. Take control of your mood. If you're feeling angry, take control of that. Listen to something that will make you happier. One of the things that I am most proud of about our app, and you asked me about what the differences are, here's one of the main ones. We have centered in on sleep, focus, but more importantly than that, grief. We have the ability to block someone's grief. We do work with PTSD. We do work with people that are feeling very sad, divorce, death in the family. So I'm very, very proud of that. We can actually help people with this therapy that is going to help block their grief.
Mm-hmm. So you can actually, having a certain problem, you can choose the soundtracks that you need. And
we make it very easy to do that. Yes. So with solfeggio, I don't know if you play a musical instrument. I do not. But I can tell you when a guitar is out of tune. I can tell you when someone's playing a piano that is out of tune. That basically explains solfeggio. Solfeggio means not in tune. It means that there's something, whacked out a little bit by that. And so by putting those things back in tune, and in this case, your brain waves, you can change, you can affect someone's mood. Binaural beats, they're a little bit different. Binaural means two. So you have one frequency going in one ear, one frequency going in your other ear. That changes the frequency in the middle, in your brain. It changes the frequency that you're operating at. All brain waves are electrical. You can measure them with an EEG. You can tell when someone's angry. You can tell when someone's sad by the electrical impulses that you pick up, measure in their brain. Binaural beats will allow you to take that frequency that that person is feeling at the moment and adjust it. You can move it up and down, where they're feeling less sad, less, if they want focus, I can help them achieve. You ever heard someone say he's in the zone? Oh, they're in the zone. We can provide that for you. We can put you in the zone where you're more focused, or if you're sleepy or tired and you want to sleep, we can do that for you too. We can drop you right into REM sleep. It really works. It really works.
This is amazing. I will definitely use your app for focus, because this is something that I'm struggling with. We have so many information out there, and sometimes when you actually need to sit down and to do deep work, it is
100%
very complicated.
You have things coming at you all the time. Now, look, you have two choices. You can, if you want to achieve these results, you can either do it with medication, but that medication may be addictive. There may be side effects to that medication. That's not what we're talking about. People talk about being addicted to music, but it's totally a different thing that they're saying. There's no side effects to listening to music. We listen to music all the time. It couldn't be safer. Hundreds of years of listening to music. Binaural beats, the same thing. But these drugs that people reach for, especially where I am, I'm in Southern California, so the first thing that they ask for is there a pill? Well, let's, maybe try something different first. There's definitely a place for medication, but let's try and do something holistically first. Then we can reach for pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that music and sounds, it can definitely change our mood. It can affect our focus, our mood. But do you think that it can really affect our health, our mental health, and even our physical health?
100%. Just take the binaural beats. We'll talk about the binaural beats and why they work in a second. But take that out of the equation. Just in the fact that we have used music just for those purposes ever since we had records. The cave paintings show people beating on drums. Use those to deter war. We've used music to deter war. We have used music to excite and to celebrate things. So to answer the question, of course, music has a place in that. That's number one. But what's more exciting is we have found that those same beats, those same binaural beats that give you focus will also help your brain focus resources wherever your injury or where your illness is. There's a reason that we put people in a hospital in order to get better, because it allows their brain to stop worrying about survival, stop worrying about, eating and all of those things. Those are provided, and allows their brain to better dictate where their resources in their bodies go and heal quicker. If we didn't heal quicker in a hospital, there would be no reason to go to one.
Yeah. Sometimes we just have to stay in the hospital and to have an observation, or
right. You need that break. You need that opportunity for your brain to focus. Oh, I'm injured, or oh, I'm ill. I can better use the resources that I have to heal quicker.
Mm-hmm. So it's what you're saying is that those binaural beats, they actually work and they kind of force our brain to heal our body?
Of course, because if you can provide that if you can shape the way someone is thinking, if you can improve their mood, if you can shape the way that they are thinking and put them in a restful, relaxed state, that means their brain is going to have better handle on the resources within their bodies to heal quicker. This is science. This is 100%. They're using this in PTSD treatments. This is not something that is actually new. This has been since the 11th century, really. Guido di Arezzo was an Italian monk, and he basically discovered that, hey, our brain operates at certain frequencies. And in the 1970s, we started doing a lot of research on, okay, now we can measure these frequencies. Now we can introduce frequencies. Let's see what it is we can, how they can be of help, especially to someone that is very susceptible or very sensitive to certain medications. I mean, not every medication works on every single person the same way. And that's why if you go to the doctor, he may give you one pill and then let's see how that works. And then you come back and he changes your medication. Well, there's a very good reason for that. Yeah. So it's the same in this situation as well. We change the frequency a little bit. Your brain adjusts and realizes, okay, I'm in a safe place and can better heal you.
Yes. Especially if we're speaking about mental health, there is no one size fits all solution, and
100%.
And everyone needs something different. We need to test things, we need to try things out. So is there an actual scientific evidence that sounds like solfeggio, like binaural beats, can help in mental health issues?
100%. Because you take someone that's highly agitated and you play music that is going to calm them down, soft, slow music, and they have a tendency, their moods match that music. Now, if you're asking about certain frequencies, there are certain frequencies that your brain will mimic. They will try to match. The solfeggio frequency, 174 megahertz, will actually speed up the healing process. It will excite certain thoughts or certain frequencies in your brain and speed up the healing process. Now, one of the reasons that they do use it quite a bit, and like I said, they are using it a lot in a therapeutic session. So maybe not necessarily in the hospital as much as if you're going to a counselor for therapy. It's because it's very hard to charge and monetize something like that. You got 285. 285 is specific to soft tissue. So you can play that in someone's brain. They start thinking or start emitting frequencies of 285. And there is evidence, massive amounts of evidence, that will speed up the healing of soft tissue. So even to the point where, look, we're talking about either we're trying to heal bones, or we're trying to heal soft tissue. We have the abilities to affect that. To what degree, you're right, is going to depend on the person, how often you treat them, how much you treat them, how what their other outside stimuli is.
Yeah.
If you put a cast on a broken arm, 9 times out of 10, it will heal that broken arm, right? That's the treatment for it. Now, if you have someone that is constantly using, pulling, pushing, using that arm, even while it's in the cast, it is not going to heal properly.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yes, definitely. So we can actually in Melodic Clouds, in your app, can we write or search for our issue that we have, and then the solution will be there, right?
Yes. So I have put all of the frequencies and what those frequencies do at everyone's fingertips. And then each one of the tracks, we have 300,000 files on Melody Clouds right now, and every single month it grows. Every single one of those tracks that have binaural beats or solfeggio, because that's what we're talking about, has clearly marked what frequency it is and what it's going to help with, what it should help you with. Now, within those frequencies, you may find music that you like more and music that works better for you. So those two things can be true as well, because there are some tracks that really, to me, I'm like, okay, I'm happy to provide this to you, but that's just not something I like listening to. Other music I can't get enough of. We're all different.
Yes, absolutely. You have to like it, and also technically. So, as we listen to this music, can we do something else, or do we have to like meditate and focus in order for it to work?
So, some of the music, the answer to your question is yes. You can do whatever you like while you're listening to this. I think what you're asking me is, will it be as effective? Now, yeah. It will be the most effective, of course, when you're listening with headphones in and you're focused on whatever it is that you're listening to. However, just like anything else, you can drive a car and be focused on other things. You're not going to do it as well, but you can. It's possible to do. I recommend people, especially if they are going for focus, or if they are going for sleep, things that require an actual attention, your attention, then you give it the proper attention. And keep in mind that this Melody Clouds isn't all about solfeggio and binaural beats. We have over 17,000 audiobooks to help people relax. Because what I found was some people like reading, other people like being read to. We all enjoy a good story. We all enjoy hearing, a good story or watching a good story or whatever. Some people would prefer to read it on their own and imagine the images. Other people would like to be read to. We have a whole section of 8,000 old-time radio programs that are being uploaded to to Melody Clouds, because I found out that my kids love listening to 1920s and 1930s radio programs, and they had never, they didn't know what was available. So I got them, and I'm putting them on Melody Clouds because I'm sure that there are other people that would get a great deal of enjoyment out of that, out of those programs.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. What I'm saying is there's a lot to Melody. 300,000 files and counting. There's a lot of material there for $5.99. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely our listeners, they like to listen because they're listening to podcasts. So I think that they would be very interested in your app. So if they are interested, they want to upload, they want to try it out. So where can we find your app?
So fortunate, I mean, I think we talked a little bit about this. I'm very, very excited because it looks like within the next 24 to 48 hours, the Google Play Store has already approved Melody Clouds. We've been approved. We're ready to go. Apple has taken a little bit longer, and the iOS has probably going to be releasing our app within the next 24 to 48 hours. So, but it is still available on the internet at melodyclouds.com. Anyone can go sign up. Anyone that does sign up gets the app. I'm not charging for the app. The app is free to anyone that's a member of Melody Cloud. So I give you 3 different ways of listening to this. You can go through the internet and listen on your computer. You can listen on your mobile device, your phone, on either the Android or the Apple platform. But also on your Kindle device or on your iPad and iPods. So, any way you want to listen to it, it's available to you. And anyone in your family, these are all family memberships. So I am not going to ask $5.99 from the husband, the wife, the children. No. This is a family membership for $5.99. I'm really not trying to get rich with this. It's kind of weird, but I'm really not trying to, soak people for money.
Yeah, but the idea is really amazing. So I'm sure that you will get a lot of interested people.
Yes. So far, you are 100% correct. And I will tell you one other thing, and this goes for everybody out there. One of the things that you will notice about this app is how large and where the unsubscribe button is placed in the app. You are not going to have to hunt for the unsubscribe button if, and I don't think this will happen, but if you decide you do not want to be a member of Melody Clouds, I make it very easy for you to fix that situation.
Great. So I think that when our episode will be out, and it will be in a couple of weeks after we record this, our listeners will definitely be able to upload the app from anywhere they want. And we will also put the link to the website under our episode, so that if you're listening to us right now, you can immediately jump there, click the link, and see where and check the app and upload it.
216 languages. We right now have members in 114 countries. So yeah, I am very hopeful that people will download this, try it, and that they'll love it as much as we do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wayne. And if our listeners want to reach out to you and contact you, where can they find you? What's the best way?
Yes, and I would love to hear from them. Wayne Altman at melodyclouds.com. That is my email address. Everybody in the office totally, ducks their head when I give out that email address. But I want to hear from people because, number one, I want to hear from musicians and people who'd like a platform. We would love to host their music. That I forgot to mention that. And number two, I want to hear from people that are actual members, what they want, what the next thing I can put on this app that people would like to hear. I'm all ears. I really want to know what people are into, what they want to hear.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Wayne. Thank you for sharing about your wonderful app on Ideas and Leaders, and good luck with developing it in the future.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Ideas and Leaders podcast. Did you enjoy this episode? Let me know that you listened by tagging me in your LinkedIn profile and using a hashtag Ideas and Leaders. See you in the next episode.